Rantamäki and Oona Karlstad.
And the lineup for Austria today, we have Sebastian Wunderer along with Karina Toth, and the team is coached by legendary Ole Kapp. We'll have a look at the rules of play. 2 players, obviously, 1 male and 1 female. 6 stones per team, where 1 is pre-placed before the end starts. You play 8 ends of curling, and there's 22 minutes of thinking time per team. You either play stones 1 and 5 or stones 2, 3 and 4. And players can switch positions between the ends if they feel like it's not working, although we see most teams keep the same positions throughout the game and throughout the week. Both players are allowed to sweep, and holding the broom is optional, so no need for a skip at the head. You can be anywhere you want. But there's no takeouts till the 4th stone of each end. And the best rule for me, the thumb rule, is just to count how many stones are in play. If there's 5 stones in play, now you're allowed to start hitting stones. And there is 1 power play option per team, per game. And you can only use that when you have the last stone advantage. So it's a little different from the regular curling game, and it might seem a little bit complicated, but I'm sure we'll be able to explain this for you. It's actually a lot easier than it looks.
Yeah, I think so. And there you see our names. As I said before, I'm Sarah Carlson, and the expert, all-knowing, by my side, Sander Rörlevåg. And teams have had their practice. They've had their practice slides, and Finland outdrew Austria on the last on draw, so they're going to have hammer. It will be Karina Toth to start us off.
Good luck, good girl.
And we've talked about this before now, Sander. One of the things that have changed for this year is that the pre-placed stone that used to be just back of the button is now back of the forefoot. What does this mean?
Well, it means that the first call is not automatically just a freeze. You have a few options now. You can come down onto that red stone and play the freeze as before, but then you allowed your opponent to come and freeze your stone and get shot. So you might see some teams try and not play the freeze, but rather keep it just a little bit high of the T-line, maybe just top of the button, as this one will pull up a little bit short for Karina Toth. It's not exactly the best way to start.
No, and it's also staggered, so really not ideal. Oona Karlstad for Finland, I believe if she can just put this on the center line, top 8, top 4 foot, it'll make it really difficult for Austria to get a good stone in there. Early setup for a multiple score.
Oona Karlstad has played 2 World Curling Championships before. Just this year in Swift Current, although maybe not with the best record. 1 win, 10 losses, but certainly on her way up and beyond.
Yeah, she did score the bronze at the Europeans in November, so definitely looking good for Finnish women's curling. And here is Sebastian Wunderer, because Oona Karlstad overcurled her draw just a little bit. There is a possibility for Austria to come down and get a shot stone in there, but there's not that many stones in play in mixed doubles, so you need a good one already, and it looks like this really is one. Just rubs off that top red a little bit, maybe a little miss on the line call, but yellow, I believe, is sitting shot. This is Tomi Rantamäki, also very experienced Finnish curler. 2 of them, Oona and Tomi, has been a mixed doubles team since January, and they won a qualification in Finland in a field of 12 teams.
Sebastian Wunderer has been the skip of the Austrian men's team for a few years now. They're in the B group of the Europeans, and this season they finished well, overall in 12th. So definitely getting close to qualifying for the A group. Nice little tap here by Sebastian. We'll keep the shooter on the top of the 1 foot.
Yeah, sits the shooter in a really nice spot. I wonder if Finland and Tomi Rantamäki will be able to come to the inside of the yellow though.
Ei, mutta laita tohon. Joo. Olisiko merkki tästä? Joo, salvalla pienempi. Koska nyt sieltä salahtaa joku poiskin. Joo.
Well, Tomi Rantamäki is, I guess you could say, sort of a veteran of the sport. His first appearance at the European Curling Championship as a skip for Finland was back in 1992. And actually that year, Germany won the gold medal. And on that team, Austrian coach Ole Kapp.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes in the curling world. A lot of players getting together this week, especially because there are so many teams here. We have a record of 42 mixed doubles teams, and remember there's also 26 men's teams and 17 women's teams playing in the senior championships. A lot of these players have played each other in the international championships through the years. And Finland didn't quite make it to inside, so Austria still has that yellow one in there. Finland with hammer. Expect Sebastian Wunderer to maybe just put up a guard now.
Wie lang? Der ist sehr eng. Wisch ihn ein bisschen an. Ja. Wie lang?
3, 4, 3. 4, 5.
I'm calling this 3-4 in the beginning, which would be just in front of the rings, but comes all the way down, finds the inside of the red.
Otan saman merkin.
So, Tomi Rantamäki with his final stone of the end. Remember, Ona Karlstad still has one left. It's going to push the left red one in, push the yellow shot stone back, and hopefully leave Finland sitting two.
Probably wants to make sure his shooter sits right there, though. Don't want to spin too much off. Might be something Austria can play hit and roll off of. So as close to nose as possible here, I think, for Tomi Rantamäki. So you can see him sweeping against the curl, trying to keep this one as straight as possible. Just going to click off the top yellow. It was very close to perfect. Perhaps moving that red stone far enough, or is it yellow still lying?
I think they were pointing at yellow, and I don't think Austria can really do too much with the shooter. Just looks like they're going to risk pushing a red one into being shot.
Yeah, so looking at the ice, it looks like there might just be throwing a guard.
It is going to be tough to guard everything, though. That tap should still be there for Finland, and they can also play the in-off off their own.
Weniger. Sehr kurz. Hilfe.
Linie steht, nur Länge. Runter.
2.
Weit gut. Curl ein bisschen früher.
Tick.
Ja, sehr, ja, ja.
So she calls this really short and actually a 2 to start with, but just a little more weight than she thought, I guess.
Ja, den kan se ausgedrückt am Anfang.
Källätäksessä.
Eli joku tämmönen takavalkoinen voima ja tämmöisellä.
Joo.
Mä voin tulla harjaamaan.
Ja
And as you see, Ona Karlstad can see a fair bit of that redstone. They've played down this path pretty much the entire end. Some broom switching going on.
nousu.
Give Tommy the best sweeping opportunities.
Nousu.
And he's going to try and get this to curl as much as possible. There is a chance for Finland to score 2 here. And they've done a great job. Finland picks up a deuce in the first end.
2.
Nice shot, nice play by Ona and Tommy. We will be back shortly with the second end.
Vähän luja. Tuntuu ehkä vähän lujalta.
Really good start for Finland.
Suunta on hyvä.
And it will be the Finnish team to start the second end.
Kova!
And looks like this might overcurl a bit as well. We have seen this in a lot of games. That first shot being difficult to put into the right place, we often see them overcurl. Why do you think that is, Sander?
Well, either just not taking enough ice, but it seems like in their head the tolerance is to maybe bump the stone back 4. So if they're a little tight on the line, they'll get to the face of it. Of course, if you have the perfect ice for the perfect freeze and throw it a little heavy, you might just slip off it or go right past. So maybe that's what they're kind of doing, just being a little bit safe. We also have heard that sometimes when you take a little more ice, you kind of get out in a fresher path, you get some more fresh pebble that will kind of bite a little more, and you might get some extra curl. So sometimes taking more ice might leave you with the same or more curl, but
Pidä suoraan.
not 100% sure if that is the case.
Jap. Kova!
Well, the case right here is that
Kova! Kova!
Finland has a free opportunity to put one in there, since Austria came up short and actually guarded. Overcurls this one a bit as well, but now sits in front of the T line, which is good.
15-1.
Still leaving quite a big gap and some backing. for Sebastian Wunderer. He had a few really good draws in the first end.
Wie lang?
6, 6, 7. 6.
Ja. Vielleicht kriegt er den Rot noch zurück.
Again, this is a good shot, but still maybe playing it that little bit safe. You have the backing, so they come all the way down to it, but that will also mean that there is room still to sit shot stone.
Jop. Jop. Suunta tosi hyvä. Tuo kiinni asti. Kova! Kova! Hyvä näin.
Well, doesn't get into 1 foot to get shot stone, but kind of leaves those top of the 4 foot, so they have
Clearing halb.
a lot of control of the 4 foot area. And you'll see Austria thinking, well, it's going to be hard to start removing these red stones, so they'll open it up, peel the center guard. Just kind of realizing that, well, the sand hasn't turned out the way they were wanting, and now just making sure they can actually score.
Yeah, they are sitting one, but the top of the 4 foot is being controlled by Finland, and it's definitely going to be hard for them to get a second counter in there.
So Finland could play a tab. Could be tempting to just throw a guard too and see what Austria would do.
Yeah, and just leave the tap for a little later.
Yeah, obviously if you make the tap here, you allow Austria a few more chances to tidy things up with a bullet. If you throw a guard here, not quite sure if Austria wants to peel the guard again, because then Finland makes the tap, and now you're stuck with very few opportunities to do anything. This might be the safer call for Finland to make the tap right now. Finland actually throws the guard, you might see Austria throw a guard as well to try and save that yellow stone in the 1 foot.
Yeah, giving up one isn't the end of the world though.
Okei. Ei. Pitää nousta. Pitää nousta. Nousua. Nousua. Kovaa nousua.
Now swooping with the curl here, Rantamäki. Basically making structures in the ice that the stones will follow. And he will come up just heavy here, I think. And obviously with the more weight, your stone won't curl as much as it curls for the most part at the very end, before the stone comes to rest. So barely ticking that red stone over. And it is still Austria lying shot stone.
Dazwischen, zwischen Mittel und Schnell, eher auf der Schnelleren. Da treffen, genau Mitte.
Jo.
So Karina asking Sebastian to hit right in between those reds. Maybe not spill all of them, but try and leave 3 yellows in play, at least 2, depending on what kind of weight to play here.
Pausen.
Ja, Pausen. Fest, bitte mit gut fest. Komm, komm, komm. Fest, komm, alles. Super.
Super and good, says Karina Tot.
I think they would have needed maybe a little more curl.
Niin.
Finland discussing getting rid of the yellow, but I think they're just going to elect to freeze instead.
Suunta hyvä.
Tuu tänne.
Voima vaan. Voima vaan.
Well, this is a bit new. This
Joo,
from
pitää
Finland,
nostaa,
the broom
pitää nostaa.
switching as the stone's on its way down. She will make the shot here and lie 4.
4 it is.
Is there a quadruple to score 2 here, Sarah? I don't really see it.
I don't really see a quadruple either, but certainly there's a shot there for 1. So just going to play normal, nose hit, score 1.
Controlled.
Oh, vor außen, von außen.
Der wird können, Sebi.
Yep.
So this is the last stone of the second end. Chance for Austria to catch up to Finland if they can score 1 here, and they will. Jiggle everything around, but it is the yellow stone lying shot, so Austria will pick up 1 point, and Finland will be ahead 2-1 after 2 ends. And we are back with the third end of this mixed doubles game between Finland and Austria. Karina Toth is a female player for the Austrian team.
Nice, gut. Kalt viel.
She's been a little short with these first draws.
Ja, ziehen hin, ganz, ziehen ganz
Looks
hin.
like they're going to get a better setup in this end. Really just making sure that she doesn't throw a guard and comes all the way down, taps the shot stone back. It is Finland that's going to have a hammer again here in the third end. 74% for Oona Karlstad so far. It's really good and stable mixed doubles numbers.
Vähän tiukka.
And from watching the game against Sweden yesterday, I think they were both playing really, really well.
Okay.
Sander, would you like to update us on the other sheets here in Löfberg's Arena today?
I sure would, Sarah. We have a 3-0 lead for England over Kazakhstan on sheet B. The Czech Republic picked up a score of 4 in the second end to lead 4-1 over Wales on the centre court. China took a 3 in the first end, and I believe they might have stolen 5 in the second. And that would be an 8-0 lead for China, just next to our sheet. And the last game to update you on is France playing Italy, and the Italians scored 2. And the score for the second end is not up on the board yet, but I'll be back with that shortly.
Tomi Rantamäki also in the 70s. Percentage-wise. Of course, we have the Swedish Curling Academy here to do the statistics for the week.
What is the Curling Academy, Sarah?
It's basically a high school where you can have curling on your schedule up in the north of Sweden. So Swedish Curling Association brought all the students in for the week to help out and do stats for the Worlds.
It's a pretty good school there.
Yeah, a lot of Swedish curlers have come out of the Curling Academy. So it's definitely producing some good curling knowledge.
I can tell you that France scored a single on the second end, so Italy will lead that game 2-1.
That same score as in this game. Remember, both of these teams are undefeated, looking to join Korea in top of this group. Korea on three wins and no losses so far, and both of these teams on 2 wins, no losses.
Pakko tää siirtää. Tai sit vaan siirtää sen tähän näin jollain rauhallisemmalle pomppaa ite vaan tähän. En tiedä päästääks me sitä tonne.
Ei sitä sinne pääse millään, mutta me saadaan tohon, jolta päätetään tohon. Noin on sitten melkein tupon paikalla. Sitten jos vedetään näin.
Niin sit tässä on tää uudelleen tää paikka.
Siinä on uudelleen paikka. Se saattaa jämmätä tonne.
Sitten
se on nyt, että tulisi sillä. Toi olisi paremmin piilossa. Heittokivellä täällä. Vedetään se. Ei tarvitse kun trykätä tonne sitä.
Millä voimalla sä tuut? Hakki?
Ei muuten vedetäkään sitä, kun katsoo kulmaa, niin se on aika heikko.
Okay.
Vedetään vaan täältä näin, sillä että oma jää siihen paikalleen. Se saa jäädä sinne takakiveen kiinni.
Joo.
Tuohan se pikkusen.
Onko se takasininen?
Joo.
How's your finish, Sander?
Not amazing, seeing how Finnish is not very similar to Norwegian. It's or Swedish for that matter. It's actually part of the Uralic language family, so it's more close to Hungarian. As you'll see on the back of the Finnish shirts, it says Suomi, which is Finnish for Finland.
Okei. Pidä pientä. Suunta hyvä. Saa nousta. Pakko nousta. Nousu. Ei. Suora. Kovaa.
This one grabbing some curl now, and they were just too late on that sweep call.
Okay.
Spills the one in their shooter in the rings, but it's a yellow Austrian shot stone still.
Problem ist, wenn freeze, dann sollte gerade liegen.
Just looked like that really jumped on them.
Wo liegt denn der Rote da hinter der Guard?
Der liegt vorne halb im 4-Fuß.
Dass wir da so seitlich aufgefriesen war keine Option.
Ja, der wäre gut.
Ja?
Oder einen leichten Tap, damit der da frozen drauf liegt. Aber an den anfriesen ist, glaube ich, nicht gut an den Gelben. Wenn, dann leichter Tap. Oder
Ja,
eben
musst
den.
du sagen.
Spielen wir
Du
den,
siehst
oder?
das besser wie ich.
Ja. Ich meine, das Problem ist, wenn wir da drauf fließen, können sie den rausspielen und liegen immer 2-mal. Spielen wir einen ganz leichten Tap auf den.
Ja, passt. Ja?
Und wenn er uns überquert, dann haben wir immer noch den.
Ja.
So some discussions here in the Austrian team, using up a little bit of their thinking time and deciding to tap back their shot stone, leave it frozen onto the back. Just believing that that's the safest way from keeping Finland off a shot that would leave them sitting multiple.
Der braucht noch viel Richtung, der braucht noch viel Richtung. Komm, 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 komm! Fest! Komm, 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 komm!
And they did what the plan was. But can Finland actually sit a couple here, Sander?
Well, if you seem to think so, Sarah, I wouldn't deny that. Pretty much a nose hit double here. I think you'll lose your back red though. So I'm not sure if your shooter will be sitting for a second shot. See if that back yellow will move at all. But I can tell you, I'm quite sure this one will be a high and heavy one. Finland always known for throwing the big weight.
And that was big weight.
Yeah, it does not move that back yellow and will only sit one.
Yeah, but the ones that they have are really controlling the 4-foot area, so I'd say that's a nice shot. It's definitely not easy to run up and sweep your own peels and then try and stop once you get into the rings.
No, I wouldn't say so. I think you might even see some players not sweep the peels at all. We have seen players do that.
Das höre ich so viel. Das höre ich schon viel. Ich glaube, mit Control kann man genug machen im Wischen auch. Ich habe Angst, dass wir den gar nicht mehr bewegen, dass wir den fast gar nicht bewegen und der bleibt dann da liegen lässt.
Ja, aber deswegen da die doch erst langsamer spielen, dass wir weiter hinter die Gas kommen.
So wie vorher, der war auch nicht zu schnell. So? Ja, ich sehe echt wenig.
Ja, eben deswegen da den langsamer spielen. Dann können wir mal gescheiter auf den Zurwind.
Board?
Hektar, Reifen.
Nein, Board brauchen wir auf jeden Fall.
Ha?
Board werden wir auf jeden Fall brauchen.
Passt.
I think they've elected to just try and get a little to the inside of that redstone to the right of Sebastian's broom. Sit on top of it. That would leave Finland probably a draw for 2. Did have to catch the 4-foot.
Oh, vor außen.
Der wird kommen.
Ja, so da. Voll vor außen.
Need
Alles, was geht.
to get to the inside though. Can't hit the high side of this and jam it.
Weiter, 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 weiter.
Komm, komm, komm. Das geht ja noch. Ich bin so schlecht rausgekommen. Ja, ich bin so schlecht rausgekommen.
I'd say that's a very good shot. If anything, maybe rolled too far. Will allow Finland to play the in-turn draw. But it will only be for 2, so not too bad.
Yeah, this is a draw for 2. Last stone of the third end for Finland. They are already sitting 1, so chance for on Karlstad to put them up to a 4-1 lead. It looks like she's gonna be spot on. That's a great draw by Finland. They will score 2 and move ahead in the game a little bit against Austria. We will be right back with end number 4.
Mä luulin, että se oli liian hiljainen, kun ei kuulu. Two red. Eikö se ollut?
Joo.
Niinku, sä näytit vähän samanlaiselta kuin silloin, jos yhtään hiljaisen. Siihen se jäi hotline.
Ei, kun mä katsoin vaan tänne. Siinä olisi vähän varaa. Ja sunnuntai. Mutta vähän isompi merkki kuin viimeisellä. Juoksi yli puolella.
So Finland up by 3 points.
Suunta hyvä.
And again, it's
Suunta
on
hyvä.
Karlstad
Tilaa enemmän
to
kuin
get us
viimeksi.
started.
Suoraan. Suoraan, suoraan. Jos tökkää, niin pitäisi pysyä.
Kaitu punainen. Eikö siis sininen tarkoita?
Trying not to get this to over curl, I believe. Maybe a little short, but it's definitely in a place where it can be used.
Joo, ei mitään.
Rather have it there than over curl and be a little long.
Linie ist gut. Schnurlänge, Sebi, weit außen. Jetzt Körper volle. Ganz weit, fest. Freeze. Okay.
Suunta hyvä. Suoraan.
Both teams leaving themselves with stones that can be promoted.
Suoraan.
And Finland will be up first.
Tarkoititko sä, että vähän tökkää tota?
And it is a good attempt, but I believe it's just slipped a bit too far. Still yellow one shot stone and the red one also in
Die zwei
behind the
liegen
T-line.
gut da, also den kann nicht mehr tappen. Den sollte man nicht berühren.
And leaving the red a little staggered to the yellow.
Ich würde den nicht wegnehmen, weil der den blockiert.
Okay.
Also die zwei liegen gut, so wie sie sind eigentlich.
Which means that Austria doesn't really want to touch them. They just want to draw another one in behind.
Ja, ja, Linie fest! Fest, Linie, Sebi! Fest, komm! Ja, ja, ja! Feste, komm! Fest! Liegt gar nicht so schlecht.
They didn't really want to touch the front stones, but they have. What do you make of this, Sander?
Well,
Niin jo.
Nyt mitä vois tehdä, niin
certainly a few stones left in the end.
mut sit toi jää vähän ikävästi siihen.
I believe that's why
Osaat meitä tolle vuodesta
they're having to think now. Maybe not just only
Ja sit jos ne tökkää sen,
the next shot here for Finland, but thinking for the next couple of shots, maybe the rest of the end, really.
Eli
Austria, of course, the yellow stones lying Shot stone back 4. It seems like maybe Finland not wanting to leave too many L stones around. Things are fairly open.
Se on varmaan ihan hyvä.
So they are playing a hit. I have to say, not quite sure what kind of hit they are playing here. Looks pretty hard to make the slash double. Almost looks like they're just playing this to jam it.
Aika pieni osuma.
Yeah, it doesn't look like much else will happen.
Well, we'll find out what they've been thinking here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what they were thinking, but I don't think they wanted to move that red stone. Probably wanting to catch that thinner and just jam the L1 without moving the red. Has left that fairly in the open. Austria will have a chance to make a hit here.
Yeah, they are going to need to curl to come pretty close to the yellow. Don't really want to hit that red one down onto the yellow shot stone or stick it on the tee line.
Well, it is almost possible to get to the inside here. There's just an inch of space. Sebastian Winderer will get 2 no's and just jam the red. So not too bad. Leaves 3 yellows in play. But I wonder if there's a double for Finland. I think you can make a double 2 ways here. If you catch it's just the first L right next to Unakaus's broom. Just a tiny bit on the inside. You might make contact with your red and that will go onto the back hill. Or you catch it, well, maybe just a half a rock on the inside and you make that double on 2 yellows up front, which I think is the call. Big weight again from Tony Rantamäki. Will actually hit the top yellow first, and that's a great shot by the Finn.
Yeah, couldn't really come any closer to the guard. And it's a good place to stick the shooter as well, just in front of their shot stone.
Joo, se nähti, että sitä sai pikkusen valuta.
No, mä olin päästänyt irtikin, niin tuntui siltä, että tää on vielä suojassa, mutta
I am still impressed that he manages to get up and sweep those peels, because they're coming fast.
Joo.
So he leaves the shooter in a really good place because, well, Austria can, they're going to play the draw on the intern side. But it's going to be a really short slash for Finland with their last, just to promote that red one just put there by Tomi Rantamäki.
Wow, schaut schnell aus.
Na, Länge ist ganz gut.
Wow.
7, 6.
Ja. Wie schön hin? Wow. Hin zum Roten. Ja, ja,
Ja,
gib ihm
Länge,
Richtung, gib ihm Richtung, gib ihm Richtung. Fest. Komm, 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 komm. Fest, komm, komm.
Well, actually, he ended up tapping that redstone out of the forfeit to lie 2. I don't think that was the plan, but it's always nice to have the option, or an option. And certainly in mixed doubles with so many stones in play, you're always looking for the plan B, keeping it in mind anyway. As Winderer was calling out 6-7 there. Ace 6 would be top of the forfeit, 7 being T-line. It was a bit heavier. When Karina Todt did realize that, she was asking Winderer to sweep for curl to really carve it in and get to the red stone, and they did. So good communication in the end. Good call by Karina Todt.
Suora! Kova!
And now this race by Finland. Good shot, not enough to spill both of the yellows. And now the final stone of the end, Karina-Taut will be able to draw for two.
Darf ich jetzt nicht schnell sein, das ist direkt wieder den Käse. 3,15?
Ja.
Linie ist gut.
Need a piece of the 1 foot
Ja, Linie.
for a score of 2 here, Austria.
Linie ist perfekt. Ja, Mischlinie, fest. Nur Länge. Nur Länge. Wow. Oh, das ist langsichtig.
So happy with the line. Now just a question of will it stop in time?
Well, I wonder if it might have tapped that yellow stone too far.
Yep.
It looks close. Ah, she just gave it a little too much weight, so will only be the score of 1 for Austria. They will trail Finland by 2 points as the teams head for their halftime break. And I think before we take that break, Sander's going to give you an update on the other scores.
Yeah, it is China leading Serbia 9-0 as Serbia's just to play their last stone of the 4th end, facing 4. So it's fair to say that China's going to run away with that win. The Czech Republic stealing another 4 in the 3rd. They're up 8 shots to 2 after 4 ends of play as they're back on for the 5th end. And between England and Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan scored 2 in the 3rd. But England still up by 1, 3 shots to 2. And on sheet A, it is France and Italy. And the 4th end just coming to conclusion here. It is the Italians leading 3 shots to 1. But now the umpire's putting up some scores on the board, and it looks like a steal of 2 for Italy, so they will actually lead the game 5 shots to 1.
We will be back just before the second half of the game with some highlights from the first 4 ends.
Taking a look at some of the highlights for you. In the first end, it was Finland with the last stone, looking for a tap on their own. Una Karlstad on the outturn will find perfect line and wait and make the tap, score 2. A great start for Finland, as they're 2 up after 1 end of play. In the second, it is Finland lying 4. but very much in the open. So Karlstad just needs to play a hit and stick to score one. Just maybe over curling a tad, but enough to stick around to score. Trailing by 1 after 2 ends, Austria. In the third end, Finland lying 1, and it's an in-turn draw for Una Karlstad to score another deuce. No problems there. Some late sweeping from Tommy Rantamäki brings that into the 1 foot, and they lead the game 4 shots to 1 before the fourth end. Well, in the fourth end, it was a draw for Austria to put their first deuce up on the board. Karlstad on the outturn was eagerly swept by Sebastian Wunderer, but in the end comes up just a few inches too heavy and taps their Yellowstone too far, and it would be only a score of 1. So Finland leads the game 4 shots to 2 at halftime.
And we're just getting ready to start the second half of this game off. Sander, what do you think of the game so far? Finland's up on the board. Are they also ahead playing-wise?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're making more shots than Austria at the moment, being a lot more precise. And obviously they've been able to execute the last stones when the Karlstad making a shot to score 2 both in the first and third end, while Austria not able to do that in the fourth when they had that draw for 2, which was maybe a bit poorly communicated. Ended up sweeping that too much. I think there was a chance to leave it and maybe rub off one of the Finnish stones, top 4. But margins are very small, of course, just tapped that half an inch too far. So just needing to make a few more key shots, Team Austria. And I don't think they can let Finland score too much here and run away with the game, because the upweight ability of both Una Karlstad and especially Tommy Rantamäki, I think they have a chance to really play defensively and keep things open if they have a big lead.
And Karlstad now played the draw, but she wished she made it with her final shot in the previous end, but it's still good to make it now, right on the button. And Una Karlstad just replying with a perfect freeze right back. And again, this is Sebastian Wunderer for Austria. Also with the intern freeze. Just trying to line everything up here. It'd be really good for Austria if they could get a steal. Trailing by 2 points so far. So Wunder comes deep, and Finland follows, actually taps that one all the way out. Still leaving that one really lonely yellow in the middle. So a new attempt here. See if he can adjust his weight. line.
6.
Come to the
Ja, ein
top,
bisschen rein.
top red.
Auf den geht
Fast die Länge noch.
Also trying to sit on an angle.
Fest.
Comes all the way down to the backing.
Like that.
And it is getting a little crowded. Still Finland with that top red, a little in control of the forefoot. They're going to try and now move the shot Yellowstone back.
Suunta hyvä. Wow. Jep.
Ei olekaan tee.
Jep. Suora. 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 Joo.
It's a great tap by Tomi Rantamäki. It's now Finland the sitting shot. But there's not a lot of room to get a second one in there.
Nur von da, ja. Das ist der einzige. Oder sogar da, dann können wir noch mal reinschieben. Da ist er auch nicht schlecht.
Ja.
Dann können wir irgendwann noch so schräg reinkämpfen.
And there you see the time clocks. Both teams have 22 minutes of thinking time. I believe it's not a big hurry, but there might be a slightly behind. Of course, you want 11 minutes left if you just want half to go when 4 ends have been played.
And the average being 2 minutes and 45 seconds per end.
Andere Seite fest.
You could play a curling end in
Fest, muss viel
less than a minute, though, if you're really quick.
And that was a bit of a mistake. Of course, there's not a lot of room for error when it gets so crowded in the forefoot. But I think Sebastian Wunderer has just shown Finland the way to getting a second shot in.
Still going for a big score here. There's also a chance to just throw a really hard one here on the yellow. Try and blast as many stones out of play as possible.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a bad idea either. They're just playing the draw though. Coming in off the wide yellow a little bit.
Varmasti
Ei.
on ilmasto.
Pitää nousta. Nousu.
Well, pushes those yellows back in there. That'd still be Finland, even with that sigh from Tomi Rantamäki. You got 3 stones top 4 and a wall of Austrian stones in the back.
Den BW, und der kommt wahrscheinlich.
Ja, aber auch wenn er da noch so liegen bleibt, ist er gut, weil er liegt ja ein bisschen schräg vor dem.
Schau, sicher, aber der da kommt wieder.
Dann ziehen wir halt leider 8er Länge drauf. Und fallen dann so einer so her.
Oder wir spielen die Guard.
Just looking at this now. Team Austria not really sure what to do. Even though Finland are only sitting 1, they are in full control of the top of the forefoot.
Was, dieser, ich finde den gut.
Der macht es 3. Nur den Spiel machen es 3 oder 4.
And that's the sign for timeout.
Sorry.
So Uli Kapp is on his way,
Den kriege ich da nicht weg.
two-time Olympian. Give his experience and advice on the situation.
Und wenn ich den nicht gut treffe, dann mache ich überhaupt nichts.
Wie sieht's aus?
Ich würde nicht reinheizen. Ich glaube, es ist zu gefährlich. Weil
Nein, nicht gleich mit so einer Achterlänge.
Einmal Shot,
Schräg umtappen.
einmal Shot,
einmal, ja.
rotes einmal Shot. Also von hinten sieht es aus, als ob man noch die Chance hat, den leichten Weg zu haben. Das Problem ist, dass du brauchst danach irgendwo einen, wo du noch machen kannst, oder? Haben wir noch einen?
Das
Ah,
ist
wir
der
haben keinen
letzte.
mehr. Das ist der letzte.
Letzte.
Das Problem ist, der kommt, glaube ich, wieder. Der bleibt, glaube ich, immer da.
Ja, aber den kriegen wir schlechter. Also ich glaube, wir kriegen den.
Der wird nicht
Besser
besser als
für
der.
den.
Ja, glaube ich nicht.
Der geht ja so um.
So, vielleicht schau, wenn du da bist. Geht der genau daher. Und du bleibst da
Das reicht
vorne.
ja.
Du bleibst halb im Achtfuß.
Ja.
Na,
Oder, Uli?
Der gelbe bleibt nicht liegen, den treibst du außer raus. Über gelb
Ja,
kommt
der ist
auch nicht
weg.
rein. Ja, der ist weg. Also ich meine,
Moment, der,
einen können wir noch hinnehmen, einen Rückläufer. Das wäre jetzt so die Frage, aber sagst, wenn ich den gelben, ob der irgendwo so dreht, aber wahrscheinlich auch
das
nicht.
ist zu gefährlich, glaube ich.
Ja.
Weil sobald wir den lösen, haben sie die Chance
Ja.
auf 4.
Was habt ihr jetzt als Alternative von außen?
Wir können auch die Guard auf die Seite stellen. Dann muss sie da was machen.
Ja. Ja.
Dann hat sie da vielleicht einen schweren für 2.
Vorne einen hin, aber ich meine, da ist immer der Winkel, wo es geht. Also
Ja.
beide Seiten können es nicht zumachen. Ich finde es gut, wenn man sagt, man bringt nur einen rein, aber schießen würde ich jetzt auch nicht. unbedingt. Ja.
nein, nicht schießen, nur Achterlänge.
Ja.
Aber wer
Ja.
wird nicht besser?
Dass du
Dann,
innen
sie
drin
liegen
bist.
nach dem Stein 3-mal und das bringt nichts.
Na,
Baby, ich spiele ihn jetzt.
Vorne rein.
So, oder? Kommst mit?
Almost looks like they're guarding here. Just looking at Winder's broom. It wouldn't be too easy for Finland to score. More than one on the outturn side. We'll see what they end up doing here.
Linie ist gut.
Yeah, that would make sense, because on this intern side, I think Finland has a shot for
Einfach stehen lassen.
at least 2, maybe 3 if they can get it really good. So
Wow.
try and take that away.
Oh, this is over curling now. And you see that redstone to the right of our screen will be fully exposed for Finland. They're looking to maybe slash it in onto that yellow second shot. And there's a few ways to make
Näytä
it.
merkkiä.
Really skinny and go directly at that yellow stone, or might even come off the back yellow. And even if you just stuff it on the back yellow, you might be enough for 2.
Could be, it would be close at least.
So pretty much anywhere skinny on the red stone with some weight, and a few things can happen.
Judging by the where Tommy has his broom, though, they're not going to throw a whole lot of weight at this. It's a normal takeout. Trying to catch this really thin. And a beautiful shot by Oona Karlstad. So 3, and they're going to have a look.
I'm going to say it's not going to be a 4th.
Yeah. Measure.
But we will have a measure.
Yeah, that's a really, really nice shot. Either way, 3 will give them a really good leap ahead of Austria.
Ne on aika lähellä kaikki. Että
No.
Näyttää punainen, mutta
No, kyllä.
ottahan tuonne.
3 already.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
If that was her 4, it's just an even better shot because remember she did bounce off and move that Yellowstone back.
It's all exciting now. Is it 3 or 4? Okay, so the yellow one will be closer.
Thank you.
And it will be, well, only a score of 3, but still, that's a really big score, and they'll move Finland ahead in the game 7-2. They will definitely be in the driver's seat now, with 3 ends to go. You see the score there, 5 ends played. Of course, we play 8 ends and an extra if needed. And in just a very short while, we're gonna start off with the 6th end and what I believe will be a power play. You see it right there. Austria now needing to catch up, score multiple points. They have elected power play. Sander, do you want to tell us what power play is all about?
Well, power play is very exciting. It's one of the new things for mixed doubles this year, and something you can use when you have the last home advantage only. And instead of having the pre-positioned stones along the center line, you'll have the center guard moved over to a corner guard and a stone directly behind it, top of the tee line. It really favors the team with last stone, opens up the center of play, and they'll be able to get a few stones behind the corner. And we've seen teams score big while using it, but we also have seen teams play very well defensively against it, but still a very good chance to score 2, no matter how well your opponent plays.
Yeah, just getting everything off the center line and actually spreading it out a little more with the rule that you're not allowed to play any takeouts until the 4th stone of each end. It definitely sets you up for a multiple score.
It's a very nice draw by B-FIN-AUT, I think, as just kind of staggered all of them. And Finland's going to play a freeze. Both Finland and Austria have medaled at the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship before. The first one held in 2008 in Finland, Vieremäki. It was Jussi Uusipavaniemi and Anna Malmi lost the final to Switzerland, Tony Miller and Irene Shori.
Yeah, there was a couple of years there where Switzerland looked like they were never going to give up the gold. I think they won, was it 5 in a row?
It certainly was a lot. It was 4, well, they've won 5 golds. They won 4 out of the first 5, having Russia one in 2010 at home in Chelyabinsk. Austria's medal came back in 2012, and it was Claudia Tott, or Claudia Fischer as her name is now, the sister of Karina, playing with Christian Roth.
Yep, but the power play wasn't an option then, so this is a brand new situation that we are seeing in mixed doubles, and it makes it really interesting. Finland only now being allowed to go more defensive and going for the takeouts. I think Tomi Rantamäki is going to try and get rid of a couple here.
This time not sweeping. And not make the shot either.
No, but he will outcount one of the yellows with that, but Austria, of course, are allowed to hit right back. So if they can just nose hit this red one, they will have their 3 yellows well spread out over the rings.
Vorsetz.
This one rolling maybe too far. Tomi Rantamäki, not quite sure if he wanted to sweep that one or not. Austria still lying 3. I believe we're going to see some upweight again. I don't think the triple's there. I mean, you can make that double and see if that top yellow comes off the second one and back onto the third, but I'm not sure if we'll have enough pace to get everything going. I'm not even sure if they're playing the slash. They might be just playing the straight double.
Yeah, I think they are, and keep thinking if they can also keep their shooter there, make Austria make a move on it, and then group the stones together a little more.
This time, Tomi will sweep. I just caught in between shots there. Does not make the double. And again, Austria will be able to hit in line 3.
Oh, in that case.
Fest! Komm, da muss so viel knallen. Fest!
Well, Austria makes the double, but I don't think that was the most important thing here.
No, the important thing was to keep your shooter in the rings. Of course, they do need to score 3, I think, to really still be in the game. You can of course have multiple steals in mixed doubles, but I think if they score 2 down by 3, it's still going to be quite tough because Finland still has their power play left to use.
Finland's not going to do anything too fancy. It's going to play the hit in the back, but wanting to keep the shooter around to set shot. And they will. And that will force Karina Taut to make a nose hit. And there's not too much to roll to. And here is Olli Kapp. Played the younger brother of Andy Kapp. Played with him for many years. Very successful. He's got 2 World Championship silver medals.
Yep, so he will be a good coach for the Austrian team that's now trying to score 2. And it's quite a lot of speed on that. They won't get it to curl enough. She rolls out and there will be a score of 1 for Austria, now trailing Finland 7-3 with 2 more ends to go. 4 points behind, 2 ends to go. Do you think it's possible, Sander?
Oh, I'd say it looks pretty tough, especially considering what I mentioned earlier with Finland being a team that really throws the up weight, and they have the chance to really get some granite moving. But a shot like that from Karlstad is certainly what you need to get things going. Well, it'll be interesting to see how Finland plays this out.
And 92% for Oona Karlstad. That will be a big part in why the scoreboard says 7-3. That's really good numbers in any sort of curling, but I'd say in mixed doubles, they're absolutely amazing. However, that wasn't 93% now, was it, Sander?
No, that was certainly a bit of a miss there. I think what they were looking to do there, it wasn't just to play the freeze, but rather tap the stones up and kind of move things around, keep it more open, make sure they can score. And just added too much weight. And with that extra weight, it doesn't curl as much. And it's gone right past. It's a perfect opportunity for Austria to set up for a steal here.
Yeah, and 82% for Sebastian Wunder. He's had some really, really good draws. He's also been a little long on a couple. With this one looking absolutely perfect. That's a really, really nice shot by Sebastian. Now Finland have the opportunity to play the hit, and they won't wait any longer. I just think this guard is just going to come flying.
Almost looked like they were playing the run back. I think they were, but again, just the main objective there is to remove the guard. And when you throw that hard, it's pretty tough to miss the stones on the forefoot without rolling the shooter away from the center line. So it's worth a go. No big risk.
No, and I think we're just going to see Austria keep putting the guard up for as long as they can. I think they want to keep it a little higher. Don't want to make that run back too easy.
Well, this one slipping way too deep into the forefoot, and that's a big let-off for Finland. A super chance for Tuomo Rantamäki to make the other ones, if not fly out the house, at least get them moving out the forefoot. Oh, a huge extension from Tuomo Rantamäki. If things aren't going to move about now, I'm not sure what will, as he hasn't been too accurate, but again, at least pushes all those hills in behind the tee line. No guard up front. It certainly looks better for Finland, but with that many Yellowstones in play, or in the house, might put some pressure on Oona Karlstad to make her last stone. If you ever get a tiny mistake on a draw or a hit against 3 or 4, it's game on.
So, der. Ja, 3.
Linie ist gut. Überkleid ein bisschen.
3, 4.
Ja, nimm ihn rein. Wow, geht Marker von allein, oder?
4.
Well, maybe just over curling there. Does not cover the stones on the forefoot, and I think it's probably worthwhile for Finland to remove at least one of them. Maybe just play a little hit and flop. I think they're also discussing to just play the slash double. Oh, there we go. Hit and roll.
Osumakympillä jossain tossa.
Joo. Onks tää...
seemed to be the last thing they were pointing at, so I think they are playing the hit and roll, as we see Finland with 5 minutes left on the clock. That should be plenty.
Yeah, even the 4 minutes should be plenty for Austria, since we're down to not that many stones left in the 7th end.
So I think we'll see less weight this time from Tommy Rantamäki after having thrown quite the bullet down the ice. Now just with the more delicate hit and roll. Well, that will certainly bring the sweeping more into the picture. They'll have more control of the line. Doesn't quite curl enough. Looking to roll a foot to the left there, sit in front of the back yellow.
Yeah, and that shot will be available for Austria. If she makes this just in front of her own, the steal is possible. Hard to see how she doesn't leave a double for Oona Karlstad, but still with if they can have 4 yellows counting before Finland's last shot, definitely puts the pressure on.
Yeah, perhaps want to roll edge to edge with that stone top 12. You don't want to roll too far underneath that top 12 stone either. I'm just going to leave the 1 foot open for Oona Karlstad to draw 2. Sounds pretty close. But as mentioned, now rolling too far. That's going to leave a draw for Finland, even with backing on that yellow stone.
Yeah, and she's been so good this game, Oona Karlstad. I expect her to be very accurate with this. But of course, looking at 4 yellows, will your thought process be a little different in the hack?
Oh, it sure can be. Thought that might pop into your head is, oh, if I miss this one, it's game on. We're bringing Austria back into the game. And I would think they'll actually change up the call here to play a hit. And if you do remember, the last one Oona Karlstad played was a draw that went through the house and this very end. So changing up the call. A little surprised that they're playing the hit. Seems to be less margin with it.
She is going to come really close to the top one. And she's also going to roll all the way out, and it's a steal of 4. Austria is back in the game. And not what Finland wanted right there. They're going to have to regroup and take a deep breath before the 8th end. It's going to be the final end of this game. So here we are getting ready for the final end of play in this game between Finland and Austria. And now Finland have elected to use their power play, which is probably a smart call, because they do need to pick up a point. They cannot let Austria steal. And I think Austria is now going to look at this more as a regular game of curling, put the center guard up, and just go all in for a steal. Both of them working this to get over the hog line, but they will be fine. So it'll start off with a high guard. So good call, can play tight guard with their next. Finland gonna try and play the tick shot. Move the yellow stone out to the side where it's not covering the button anymore. And try and also roll away with their shooter. And, really well executed by Ona Karlstad. For Austria, it's just to replace the center guard. Keep your patience. Just try and keep it there and then come in behind.
Nur Länge, Linie ist sehr gut.
Ost, 2.
Wenn er drüber ist, wow. Ja, wische noch ein bisschen. Ost, 2 sind stehen. Gut.
Now being allowed takeouts. This again will look more like a traditional game of curling in the final end, where one team needs to steal. Austria putting the center guard up and Finland peeling them away.
Wieder Guard. 2.
And whilst we wait for that process to maybe repeat itself a couple of times, Sander, do you want to tell us what's going on elsewhere in the arena?
Well, to no surprise, China did beat Serbia. In the end, it was 14 shots to 0 over 6 ends of play. And then we had the Czech Republic beating Wales, 13 shots to 4 in 7 ends. And there's 2 games still remaining out there. England leading Kazakhstan 8 shots to 2. And I believe it's Italy leading France 6 shots to 2.
As Austria actually comes all the way into the rings.
Oma saa mennä poiskin pesästä, mutta tolle puolelle.
Ja.
Ota pienempi merkki. Vieläkin. Vähän kovempi.
Nousu. Ei, ei. Nousu. Ei, ei, ei! Vielä oma. Ei.
Well, makes the hit and roll away. Not too much to play around with for Austria at the moment. I think they'll throw one more guard, and after that I think they might just have to play the corner freeze on the stone back of the corner guard.
2. 3.
Nur da. Wow, muss
Hey,
fast.
Oida. Ist wieder im Haus.
Oh, this is a long one too.
Ich mal auf Tee.
Yeah, it's too deep. If you put that top 12, it's maybe okay. Sometimes that's a bit of a teaser. When your opponent wants to play the peel on the stone top 12, it's easier to think, well, if they can't roll thick and stick around, it's not too bad, then they might leave a guard.
Yeah, the teaser is never bad.
This is not really a teaser though, because if they nose hit here,
It's
they can't really draw around it.
No.
England has beaten Kazakhstan 9 shots to 2.
Suora.
will make the nose hit, and the question is, what does Austria do here?
Yeah, they can't really draw around this because it'll be such an easy shot for Finland to remove it.
Yeah, looking at the hit and roll, I think that might just be the only option here.
Yeah, just make sure that your shot's down and hope that Oona Karlstad has some nerves. Final shot for Austria in this game.
Pass auf, der wird viel können.
Really need to stick for shots down or this is over. And she will. The question is how much can Oona Karlstad see? Are they going to play the hit or the draw? She's got almost all of it. So they're just going to try and make this go away. Don't need to stick the shooter. They've already got a red one in the rings. This yellow one just needs to go.
Yeah, I think I'm more in favor of playing the hit this time than in the last end. Did miss the takeout though. Probably playing a little more weight this time. And it was the intern that overcurled on her in the 7th. Sounds pretty good here.
And she's got it. Everything forgiven for the 7th end. And with that peel from Oona Karlstad, Finland will win this game. They will move up to 3 wins, no losses. Austria will drop down to 2-1. And happy hugs and probably some relief from the Finnish team. And we are, of course, going to get you an interview with Team Finland and also some highlights from this game.
Yeah, that was a game that certainly looked like Finland was going to win easy. Giving up a steal of 4 in the 7th made it all more interesting. But Finland seemed to be very much in control of that 8th end. Just running through the scores one more time with you. We saw China beat Serbia 14-0. It was England beating Kazakhstan 9 shots to 2. We had the Czech Republic beating Wales 13 shots to 4. And there's one game still remaining out there, as you can see up in the corner of our picture. It is France playing Italy, but Italy up by 5, 7 shots to 2, as they are now playing the 8th end, a tall task for the French. And here you also see Jamie Brass, a head ice technician, out to scrape the ice before our next session, where we will feature Latvia against Hungary. And that session will start 5:45 local time here in Karlstad, Sweden. And I believe we have some highlights for you now. In the first end between Finland and Austria, it is Oona Karlstad for Finland to play a little tap to score a couple. Perfect line, perfect weight, will make it. And a good start for the Finns. In the second end, Finland will be lying 4. No chance to score 2, but an open hit to score 1 here for Karlstad. Seemed like it was going to overcurl, but it will stick around to score the single, trailing by 1 after 2 ends, the Austrians. In the third, it is Finland lying 1. Oona Karlstad with the in-turn draw to score 2. with some light sweeping from Tommy Rantamäki. He will bring it in to the 1 foot for the deuce. 4 shots to 1 after 3 ends. In the 4th end, it is Austria lying 1, so now it's Austria with the chance to score 2. We're swept this draw pretty much all the way, but in the end comes up a tad heavy. Will tap that yellow stone too far, and it will only be a score of 1. Coming back onto the ice after halftime break, it is Finland lying 1, but Una Karlstad with a tricky little skinny slash to get to that Yellowstone back 4, and will score 3. We're measuring for a 4th point, but he would not get it. But still an amazing shot by Karlstad. Brings them to 7 shots to 2 after 5 ends of play. In the 6th end, Austria had a chance to pick up 2 points. Using their power play, Austria obviously wanting a multiple score, but rolling out on the last stone here only provides them with the single. Trailing by 4, as you heard Wanderer saying right before the end, we're not giving up just yet. And that was a smart call, because with a miss from Una Karlstad on her last stone, rolling out actually leaves a steal of 4 points to tie up the game, and Austria very much with a chance to win. Although in the 8th end, it is Finland utilizing their power play to perfection, leaving a fairly open hit for Una Karlstad to win the game. This time, no mistakes. A sigh of relief for the finish. They'll pick up another win and stay perfect so far here at the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship.
So that was maybe a little tighter than you would have wanted. Can you tell us about your thought process in the 7th end?
Well, my first draw was a little bit too heavy, and then they made 2 really good draws, and then my last stone, it was maybe too slow or something. I couldn't make that takeout, and they took 4.
So what did you say to each other to regroup before the final end?
Well, I said to Anna that anyway we have the hammer in the last end, so we are going to win the game.
Sounds good. You guys have been really good so far, and you've only been a team since January. How have you been working to get this team together?
Well, we have had only few practice sessions together, and it just feels like we can play really good together. So
it looks like it too. So best of luck to both of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.